everyone, today I'm making a wig for this doll head I made. I wanted to make this head for a little pattern I found when we were out at a thrift store. And it's part of the Dumpling Designs Cupcake Corner ones. It says this was made in 1985 by Graham Publications Inc. There's 12 characters in this series. Buttermilk biscuit, strawberry jam, rainbow slush, hot fudge sundae, banana split, pink lemonade, peach taffy, taffy apple, pecan pie, gumdrop, lollipop, and popcorn. The one I made is called peach taffy, and there's so many ruffles in her little dress. These are actually just like the legs, arms, the dress, a hat, and the heads and the pants were sold separately. There's not a lot around anymore. I actually found them on Etsy, but I did not want to buy all of them, seeing as I don't have all the patterns. All the heads aren't available, and I don't want to start a whole thing and then not have all the heads to finish. But I will leave like a link below where you can get them, because they do sell the digital patterns on Etsy. Here's a screenshot of some of the stuff on Etsy, and you can actually see peach taffy on there, which is the one I have. I was actually very, very surprised and shocked that I found a crochet pattern from the 80s, because I usually go there to look for that stuff and I never find anything, especially something amigurumi related. And I actually think the design is so cute. And when I picked it up, I thought this was the Cabbage Patch Kids, but the heads, I guess, are a little bit different. It's just they have the cheeks. I'm sorry about that. My dog just is very demanding and wants attention all the time. But I was saying, the cheeks are different a little bit on the Cabbage Patch Kids, and their eyes are definitely different. My sister actually used to be afraid of the Cabbage Patch Kids. I mean, I can see why. Some of them are bald and they have like yarn hair, but I thought they were kind of cute. And this wasn't something I had growing up. Um, I was born a little after that. I never actually crocheted stuffed animals before. My mom more like taught me how to use the crochet techniques. I didn't know their names before. I found that later. But mostly blankets and stuff like that. I think overall the pattern's pretty easy to follow. It says here that the head is 4.5 inches, the plastic one, not the one I made. It tells you how many skeins you need, what hook to use. I think it's pretty straightforward. To begin, it has you do the chain method, and like where you chain 5 and then you crochet inside of the 5 chains. You have the 5 chains, slip stitch, crochet inside of the 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 hoop you just created, basically. And I think a lot of stuff like that is a little easier sometimes. I think it's pretty easy to follow. On the back there is pictures that tell you how to half double crochet, how to double crochet, how to single crochet. It does have a gauge. Everything's kind of done in chains and single crochets and half doubles and double crochets. The one I have though, I think was a lot. It's only harder because there's tons and tons and tons of ruffles. There's ruffles on ruffles on ruffles. Mhm. If you've never crocheted a ruffle before, you have a starting chain, and then you chain like a smaller chain, like a 5 or 6, and then you skip a few chains on that starting chain, and you single crochet into the 5th or 6th chain, and then you chain another 6 or 5, and then you single crochet into that founding chain again until you get to the end, and then you basically repeat. You're now putting crochet into those 5 chains, and then chaining another 5 or 6, and repeating that all the way around, and you keep going until you have enough ruffles for the poofiness that you want. It's just a very repetitive and long process.
2 hours later.
And you're still not done. You still have like 4 more layers of ruffles to go. Overall, I think this concept is very cute. Like each cupcake has its own character. And I think the designs they made are very, very cute. The names are adorable. It's very creative. Back in the 80s, it seems they would do more things that were hands-on for making toys and creating stuff. There'd be patterns for sewing, for crochet. I mean, they still do that, but it's mostly online. And it's nice to have a little pamphlet printed that kind of tells you what to do. And not a lot of big toy companies do that anymore. But overall, I did enjoy this. And I would recommend getting it if you want a big project that's gonna keep you occupied for a while. Specifically, peach taffy. The head and hair actually took me less time than the big dress, and I finally finished after making the bows and putting her all together.
A few hours later.